Today I'm going to take a look at a Hitach SR3400 stereo receiver. This thing looks like it was maybe made in the early 70s. I hooked up the speakers. It sounded distorted to me. I thought maybe my ears were maybe playing tricks on me. So now I decided to hook up my test equipment. I have got all the controls are set neutral. You can see that bass and the treble were set at exactly well in the middle, and the balance, and I got the aux button pressed in because I'm going to feed in a signal through the aux input. And here's my little test rig set up. I have a dummy load hooked up, and right now I've got my oscilloscope hooked up to basically the output of the amplifier. I'm reading the signal straight across here, these dummy load power resistors. And also I have my audio generator here hooked up, and I'm also with my other channel of my oscilloscope is also hooked to there, so that way I can monitor exactly what the audio generator is putting out. So the first thing I noticed when I opened up this Hitach receiver was that somebody had replaced one of the power output transistors, and they also replaced a transistor in the power supply. The power output transistor is not a matching pair with one of the transistors that's already in there. There are two power output transistors per channel, and one channel does not have a matching pair. So before I do anything at all, I'm going to go ahead and change that, change them out and put in a different pair. They're very cheap anyways, so I'm going to do that before I do anything at all. A lot of times these units have been worked on, and not always correctly. Here's what happens when I feed in the 1000 Hz sine wave. The output from the audio generator, which I'm feeding to the input of the audio amplifier, is on the top. You can see the waveform, and what's coming out of the amplifier, you can see that on the bottom there. That's actually a sine wave totally clipped. So now I'm in the process of taking out the mismatched power transistor pair. I've took out the old heatsink. Actually came off when I unsoldered and unbolted the power transistor. It's still got some old thermal compound residue on it. I'm going to clean that up with some alcohol and clean the other side up with the alcohol. I'm going to go ahead and reuse the mica insulator here, and I'm going to clean both sides of that too. I'm also going to clean up the mounting bracket here that the heatsink was attached to. So I applied some thermal grease to the bottom of the heatsink. So I'm going to cut off this lead here. That's a collector lead, since this here and this here on the top here is electrically the same, and it's going to be in the way, so I'm just going to snip it off. So I applied some thermal grease to the transistor, and then I'm going to go ahead and slip the mica insulator over it. So I got the mica insulator on. Now on the other side of the mica insulator, the top side here, I'm going to apply, right here, I'm going to apply more thermal grease. So I got thermal grease applied to this side too, and I'm about ready to put it back in. And the two new power transistors, got everything back in place, and I'm going to go ahead and inject the signal. So I injected a 1000 Hz sine wave The bottom is the input and the top is the output. This is the left channel, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the right channel. Before it looked really ugly, now it's looking much better. Now that's the right channel right there. I think I'm going to go ahead and hook up the speakers and leave it at that. I didn't want to end up throwing away this old Hitachi. So here's the sound of this Hitachi SR3400 stereo receiver with the loudspeakers hooked up and a CD player hooked up. As far as I'm concerned, it's prepared. I'm not going to mess with it any further. I just saved another one from going to the landfill. And in conclusion, the problem was mismatched power output transistors on one channel. I don't know who did the work, but I don't think they did it 100% correctly. Let me fire this thing up. It sounds pretty cool. And it's got, crank up some volume a little bit. Actually sounds pretty clear. So like I said, I'm going to leave it at that.